You are about to waste 2 hours of your life. You have that scratched up cardboard box sitting on your garage floor. The one with the 4 grits of sandpaper wrapped in plastic, the little tube of polishing compound that smells like chemicals and disappointment, and those so-called ceramic wipes that cost more than your lunch. You've read the instructions 3 times. You've got your bucket, your water, your tape to protect the bumper. You are ready to kneel down on that concrete, press your knuckles into wet sandpaper, and scrub in circles for the next 90 minutes like some kind of unpaid auto shop intern. And for what? For headlights that will be foggy and yellow again in 4 months. That is exactly what they want you to do. That is the trap, and I'm about to show you how to escape it in 3 seconds flat for $1. Grab any bottle of standard bug spray from your kitchen cabinet. The kind you use before a camping trip. The kind that costs $1 at the dollar store. As long as it contains DEET, that's all you need. Take a paper towel, spray that bug repellent directly onto the paper towel, press it against your yellow foggy headlight, and wipe. That's it. Watch what happens to that paper towel. Watch the yellow, the brown, the orange oxidation, the years of sun damage dissolve and smear directly onto the rag in seconds. Not minutes, seconds. The plastic underneath is not scratched. It is not thinned. It is not permanently weakened. It is crystal clear, like glass, like the day the car rolled off the lot. You just did in 3 seconds what a $30 kit and 2 hours of back-breaking labor couldn't do correctly, and the auto detailing industry has known about this for decades. Welcome to the Buried Blueprint. I'm glad you found this channel, because what gets revealed here is the kind of information that powerful, profitable industries spend real money trying to keep out of your hands. If you believe that corporations suppress cheap, effective solutions to protect their revenue, then hit that subscribe button right now and ring the bell so you never miss an upload, because this is just the beginning. Now let's talk about the chemistry, because you deserve to understand exactly why this works and why it works better than anything they've ever sold you in a box. Your headlight lenses are made of polycarbonate. That is a type of rigid plastic. When the sun hits that polycarbonate day after day, year after year, ultraviolet radiation attacks the surface layer of the plastic. It breaks down the polymer chains at a molecular level. The clear outer coating deteriorates, the plastic beneath oxidizes, and that oxidation is what you see when you look at that yellow, foggy, cloudy mess on the front of your car. Now here's the part the auto detailing industry prays you never learn. DEET, which stands for diethyltoluamide, is a powerful organic solvent. It has been classified and studied as a plasticizer, meaning it interacts directly and aggressively with polycarbonate at a chemical level. When you apply DEET to that oxidized headlight surface, it does not just sit on top of the damage. It penetrates the destroyed outer layer and breaks apart the molecular bonds holding that dead, sun-baked plastic together. It selectively liquefies the oxidized layer. The damaged material dissolves. It transfers onto your rag. And the healthy polycarbonate underneath, the layer that was never touched by UV degradation, that layer is left completely intact. You did not scratch it. You did not sand through it. You did not thin it with an abrasive compound. You dissolved the problem with chemistry, which is exactly what chemistry is designed to do. Now let's talk about those $30 kits. Let's talk about what they are actually selling you. When you open that box, you find sandpaper, multiple grits. You start with the coarsest grit and you sand the entire headlight surface. Do you understand what that means? You are using abrasives to physically remove material from your headlight lens. You are scraping away polycarbonate. Every single pass with that sandpaper creates micro scratches, hundreds of them, thousands of them. You move to the finer grit and you try to sand out the scratches left by the coarser grit. Then you move to the polishing compound to try to remove the scratches left by the fine grit. Then you apply the ceramic wipe to seal over what is now a lens that is physically thinner than it was when you started, permanently scratched at a micro level, and structurally weaker than before you touched it. The headlights look clear for a while because you have polished the surface back to transparency, but the damage to the integrity of the plastic is done. And because the lens is now thinner and more vulnerable, the UV radiation goes back to work faster. The oxidation returns. The yellow fog comes back in months instead of years. And you go back to the store and buy another kit. That is the business model. They are not selling you a solution. They are selling you a subscription. Before I walk you through the exact application step by step, I need to pause and tell you something important. What you are watching right now is one entry point into a much deeper rabbit hole. The auto detailing industry is one of dozens of industries that profit from hiding simple, cheap, science-backed solutions in plain sight. Everything from the way they sell you expensive wood sealers to the way they push overpriced mold remediation services follows the exact same playbook. Suppress the cheap fix, manufacture the expensive one. Repeat. If you want access to the full archive, the complete collection of buried knowledge spanning home repair, energy costs, rust prevention, water damage, and survival preparation. There is a link in the description to the complete buried blueprint vault. It contains dozens of classified DIY guides that the relevant industries would prefer never reach your hands. Go check that out. But stay right here, because the exact way you apply this changes everything. And if you miss the critical final step, you could accidentally damage your car. Here's exactly how you do this correctly. First, go to any dollar store, grocery store, or convenience store and pick up a can of bug repellent spray. Read the label before you buy it. You need one that lists DEET as an active ingredient. Do not buy picaridin-based repellents. Do not buy the natural citronella formulas. You need DEET. Specifically look for concentrations between 25% and 100%. Higher concentrations work faster and more aggressively. A standard off-brand bottle at the dollar store with at least 30% DEET is more than sufficient. This is your $1 investment. That is it. Step 1. Do not spray the DEET directly onto your car. This is critical. DEET will strip paint, discolor rubber, and damage plastic trim if you let it run off the headlight lens. You spray it onto a paper towel or a clean rag first. Fold that paper towel so you have a firm surface to work with. Now spray the DEET generously onto the folded paper towel until it is well saturated but not dripping. Step 2. Press the saturated paper towel firmly against the yellow headlight surface. Apply steady, firm pressure and wipe in slow, even strokes. You do not need to scrub. You do not need to push hard. The chemistry is doing the work, not your muscle. Watch the paper towel. You will see it picking up yellow and brown oxidation almost immediately. That color transfer is the dead polymer layer being dissolved and removed. Continue wiping until the yellow is gone and the lens looks clear. On heavily oxidized headlights, you may need to use a second fresh application. Simply grab a new section of paper towel, reapply the DEET, and repeat. Step 3. This is the critical step that most people skip, and it is the most important part of the entire process. Immediately after the oxidation is gone and the lens looks clear, you must wash the headlight thoroughly with regular dish soap and water. Use a sponge or cloth. Scrub the entire lens surface. Rinse completely with clean water. This step neutralizes the chemical reaction. DEET will continue to interact with the polycarbonate if you leave it on the surface. The goal is to remove it completely as soon as the oxidation has been dissolved. If you skip this step, you risk over-chemically processing the surface, which can begin to affect the healthy plastic underneath. Wash it, rinse it, done. Step 4. Optional but recommended. Apply a UV protectant spray or a light wax coating to the clean headlight surface. This creates a barrier between the polycarbonate and the sun, slowing the rate at which new oxidation can form. A basic UV protectant spray costs $2 to $3 and will extend how long your clear headlights stay clear. This is the only additional product worth spending money on. And that is the entire process. One application of DEET on a paper towel, one wipe, one soap wash. 3 to 5 minutes total including the rinse. Crystal clear headlights. Now let's talk about what that Headlight Restoration Kit actually cost you, not just the $30. That $30 bought you sandpaper that permanently weakened your lens, polishing compound that masked the structural damage, and ceramic wipes that sealed over a surface you just spent an hour grinding down. It cost you 90 minutes of kneeling on a garage floor. It cost you the structural integrity of your polycarbonate lens. And because it accelerated the return of oxidation by thinning the plastic, it will cost you another $30 in 6 months when the yellow comes back. The bug spray cost $1. The application took 3 seconds. The lens is intact. The chemistry dissolved only the dead material and left the healthy plastic untouched. The oxidation will return on a natural timeline, not an accelerated one. When it does, another $1 and another 3 seconds will fix it again. The auto detailing industry does not want you watching this video. They do not want you forwarding it to your neighbor, your coworker, or your family member who just spent $35 on a kit that's sitting open in their garage right now. Because every person who learns this is a customer they lose permanently. Every single view, every like, every subscribe on this channel is an act of resistance against an industry that built its business model on suppressing common sense. Hit subscribe, share this video. Leave a comment below with the results you got, because the more of us who know, the harder it becomes for them to keep burying this. You spent $1. A contractor at a detailing shop would have charged you between $80 and $150 for a headlight restoration service. A new headlight assembly, which many dealerships push when the lenses get bad enough, runs anywhere from $200 to over $500 per unit. You did the same job, better, without scratching or thinning your lens, in 3 seconds for $1. The industry prays every single day that you never make this connection. The next blueprint opens soon, and what's inside is even heavier.